Hello, my name is Aleshia Huber, and I am the Engineering Librarian at Binghamton University. Today, I will be providing a brief overview of the AI tool Elicit. Elicit uses language models to assist researcher workflows. Its primary task is to help researchers conduct literature reviews. If you ask a question, Elicit will show relevant papers and summaries of key information about those papers in a table, which I will demo shortly. You can access Elicit through a web browser with an internet connection and going to elicit.org. There is an optional desktop app that you can download to run Elicit as well. You will need to sign up to use Elicit by creating an account with your email address, first and last name, and a password. It is free to use. You can search Elicit by typing a question or keywords. You can also run Elicit by uploading a PDF or multiple PDFs. For now, I'm going to search with the question, how can stress be monitored through biosensors? In the results, notice in what is currently beta is a summary of the top 4 papers. Each paper also includes its own very short abstract summary. Elicit uses a fine-tuned GPT-3 to generate this text. On the left, under Add Information about all papers, you can create columns for the metadata, such as journals or authors. But what's more interesting is that Elicit will try and pull data or summarize data from the article. There are some default options. You may notice from some of the default options that Elicit was initially designed with empirical research, like randomized controlled trials, with the options provided, like population studied or the intervention studied. But it's certainly flexible to use in any fields. I'm going to choose the summarize main findings. And you can see Elicit added in our table main findings. You can also ask questions within the results, and Elicit will try and pull the information from the article to answer that question. Notice when I type something, it defaults to what was the, so I'll put in what was the materials, and I can rephrase it. Types of materials used to create the biosensor. That's maybe a little bit more of a specific question, and it is pulling different information from just the 2 ways of typing the question. So you could play around with it, and maybe if you notice the question you type wasn't pulling what you wanted, just try rephrasing it and see if that helps. If you click on a paper, you can see the context into which Elicit provided the answers to your questions. I noticed it doesn't always do this. In my observation, it tends to be more successful in doing so when it has access to the full text of the document, such as in this case. But if I scroll down, you can see we can view the source for the main findings. And what the source was for the materials, and it can be a helpful way to verify the information. They also have other ways to critique the paper. Can you trust the paper? So it tries to pull information about it. So here it has the funding information, and it's still looking for some other ones, but it couldn't find the participant count, which it wouldn't find because this is actually a review paper. And then underneath this, they have possible critiques where they're looking at the papers that cited this paper. And I did check this critique, and this one is incorrect. This Voss paper does cite this paper, but it's reference number 34. So this reference 77 is not this paper, so this is not a proper critique that it generated. And it does have some other context for other citations, which these are all correctly phrased. So it's certainly helpful to be able to generate all of this information, but you have to be really careful about doing so, as it's not always correct. And again, it's if you didn't find it was correct, maybe trying to rephrase the question would help. And also, while you have the paper up in its own window, you can ask a question about the paper and get information just for that paper. Also, within the search, you can add more keywords. Under the filter options, you can also filter by publication year or study type. Within the results, you can star papers, which will cause ALESEE to perform a citation search of the earlier papers cited and future papers that cited your starred results. So you star the papers, and at the bottom, click Show More Like Starred. And it will provide results based on the relevance ranking to your search terms. This makes ALESEE useful for browsing citation results as it pertains to your topic, but it's not necessarily a great tool to see a comprehensive list of all the citation search results. Say you've been researching for a while and you've lost track of all your starred papers, you can click the starred link in the right-hand corner to see what you've starred. You can also export the results as a .bib to upload it to a citation manager like Zotero or Mendeley. You can also export it as a .csv file. To recap some potential use cases after this demo, ALESEE is really good at finding papers on a research question or a topic. You could certainly try and pull background information, as this is designed to help with literature reviews. It's helpful in creating summaries of papers. Even if there are some errors, it can give the researcher a slate to work from that they can edit rather than starting from nothing, and that can save some time. You can also see all of the authors of the papers in the results, or create a column for the authors. And this could be helpful in finding potential collaborators, but it's not providing a network map or contact information. So you're certainly still going to need to take more steps to find collaborators. The same case could be said for the journal. It will provide what journal it's published within, which can provide ideas for potential publication avenues. One of the metadata metrics is the SCImago journal rank, which could help you find some higher quality journals. Before I close out, I would like to mention these ALESEE tasks. These are tools that can help researchers save time as well. One is brainstorm research questions, which could be useful for students who have a topic but don't necessarily know what areas to focus on. Another useful tool is the abstract summarization. This is related to the abstract summaries pulled in the ALESEE results, but it provides a couple different options for how to summarize one abstract. This could be helpful for note-taking, as researchers can select the summaries that are most useful to their topic. And as you can see, there's still a number of other tasks available, and there's likely more in the works. ALESEE is still very quickly developing, as even their tutorial videos recorded 6 months ago, there's already changes from those. But this was a very brief overview on using ALESEE. I encourage you to try on your own And also check out Elicit's FAQ as they go into quite a bit of detail of how it can be used, how it works, and more. Thank you.